Nadine is popping back in.
Right. Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I'm on both. I have the live stream open on my laptop. I'm on Clubhouse on my phone, and I'm doing some Twitter stuff.
Thank you, Nadine. Awesome. We have a
Thank you,
forever.
Nadine.
Oops. I need to. Okay, we're good. We're good. Um, I think we're good. Okay. We have Forever Curious's piece first. She's unable to join us, but maybe we could talk about that one for a little bit. We have the bids closing on that piece actually in 3 minutes. We're live on Grail's website, so you can join us on the website and you can take a look at Forever Curious's piece. Bids will be closing in 3 minutes and 35 seconds. If you have 0.05 ETH and are looking for a fantastic piece, the thumbnail actually that you see there is not representative of the entire piece. The entire piece is more complex than that. It has 4 images showing in sequence the transformation of an octopus. And it's just a fantastic piece. It sucks that we don't have Nadine here or Forever Curious to talk about it. But Nadine, would you like to jump in?
Yeah, I do remember listening to her talk about it, and you can actually go on OpenSea to the collection there to get a full view of everything that's up for auction, and you can see her piece. It's done partly in AI. She used GAN art, but she also talked about her process earlier today when we had our room. She did over 20 iterations of this, constantly working and reworking it. I know some people think using GAN art or AI is sort of like a cheat, or it's not as complex as drawing something by hand. But the truth is, to get something to look the way you envision it takes a little time and a little effort and a lot of skill. It's not something that can be done pretty easily in just a couple of minutes. So if you didn't have a chance to listen to her earlier today, she talked about multiple iterations of this piece being created, maybe about 20 total. And this was the one that she ended up landing on, or these 4. They're quite beautiful, quite colorful. I think each piece on its own really stands out. I would love to see them printed on archival quality paper and framed. They're just really, really lovely. Definitely take a look at OpenSea TDC space artathon dashes in between, as we've been spelling it. Will help you find it, and you can see all of the pieces. For minting or for bidding, go to the Grail website that's in our link tree, and you can get your bid in before it's too late.
Thanks, Nadine. Yeah, that was an excellent summary. She speaks really well. It was she had a lot of really amazing perspectives, but I think you summarized it really well. Um, the piece closes, bidding closes on the piece in about 40 seconds. That's just enough time to place a bid if you would like to. But it is the Quasi Octopus piece by Forever Curious. And yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Nadine. The piece that we're going to be talking about next is going to be the Daydream Conduit, but we will be listening to Forever Curious in one of the next rooms, and we will be talking about that one next. Forever Curious will get some time to talk about her piece, and we'll be sharing our plan for the pieces that were not sold today and our plans for them in the next few days when the auctions are all over. But next we have Daydream Conduit by Joey. Joey, I don't think was able to join us in the room today, unfortunately. Um, but we have 5 minutes for bidding on Joey's piece. It is a GIF. It is fantastic, really colorful. Incorporates some photography elements and a lot of work that he did on it afterwards. Um, Again, Joey was in the room earlier and spoke about it very, very sincerely. But um, Nadine, would you like to speak to it a little bit, or to Joey's experience overall?
Yeah. What I found really interesting about the way Joey talked about this piece was how he talked about this 24-hour limitation that we had in our artathon, and he needed to wait for the light to be just right in order to get the photograph that he wanted. Everything that he did within the 24 hours, including the background photograph. So he went out, waited for a certain time of day to get a certain kind of light, took several pictures. The ones that hit the light the way he envisioned weren't exactly right for the framing. So we ended up going with a different piece, and that shows sometimes the flexibility that we need when we're creating quickly. As he continued to work with it, and he tried a couple of different things, just sort of playing around with this process, that process, experimenting, getting a little deeper, and all of the layers that went into it. It was just really fascinating to hear, because that also talks about the process when we have a certain thing in mind, but we have to be a little flexible. We have to pivot. We have to do something a little different. And does that make it less beautiful? Does it make it less artistic? Does it make it less us? Not at all. And I think it's even more us in some ways, because it shows what goes on in our minds as the neurons start to fire as we're in the middle of process. I love the fact that, even though I'll say, frankly, from the beginning, I did not see transformation, but as I read his description and as I heard about his process, I definitely saw it. It was transformed from just an idea to a piece of art. It talks about the light and how it changes us. And I think in some ways from within and from without. I really enjoyed this piece, and I hope it finds a wonderful home, because it definitely deserves it.
Yeah, I agree. Joey is a fantastic member of the community, and I really love this piece. Um, his explanation, the one that is here on Grail, is only half of it. The rest of it is actually in OpenSea, and you can see more of his perspective going in, and it being attached to the NFT. It'll always, be there alongside it. But bids on Daydream Conduit by Joey close in 1 minute. Link is in the link tree for anyone who would like to make a bid. Um, but otherwise, it's a fantastic piece, and you should take a look at it. But we have Joey's piece up for auction. Does anybody want to jump in before we start to wind down Joey's piece in the next 30 seconds? Um, 15 seconds.
I do appreciate that it is a GIF. Personally, I like things that sort of move or react in my digital art, but that may just be my bias.
No, I do. I agree. That's actually the only GIF that's in the collection overall. So it is the only one that is that dynamic, has that particular set of colors, has that particular vibe and atmosphere to it. And it is no longer available for bids, and we are going to be reserving that and coming up with a future plan for it. But it is particular in that sense. The next one that we have is by Luis, and we do have Luis in the room. Luis was kind enough to take time to spend it here with us. Luis, would you like to speak or jump in?
Yeah, hi. Excuse me if I sound a bit tired. It's like 1 a.m. here, so
No, no.
I'll try to stay up for the rest of this. And it's been great. It's been a great experience hearing everyone's stories today, and just what inspires people to put these pieces of work together. So my submission, it's called The Journey. I think I said earlier, for those that weren't in the room, it's kind of... it's been an idea that's been bubbling in my head for a little while, and when the Dream Conduit kind of artisan came up on the theme, when I heard the theme, I was like, okay, we can work with that. And I worked on a few different ideas, did some sketches, created that piece in Procreate finally. Brought it all together. Interestingly, what you said about movement, Nadine, because I was thinking of putting like a glitch effect into it, but I thought it might just be a bit overkill. But yeah, that's my piece. It's called The Journey. As I say, the comment in there kind of talks about the journey from traditional art into digital spaces, and how that kind of NFT space has really helped me on that journey. So that's my piece, and thank you for bidding on it, Marquise. I'm really happy. And actually, what you just said about the perspective of looking at it sideways, I'd never thought to do that, so that's really cool. Thank you.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no problem. I'm eating right now, but yeah, I'm waiting for it to stop, and I'll confirm that in a second. But yeah, I was just looking at it again. I can't wait to see it in a bigger frame, because I tried to click on it from that page there, but you can't like open it up or get closer to it. But
yeah, you'll in OpenSeas, I think you see, because it's it's a portrait size, so there's a bit more probably on the top that you haven't seen. It's more of like a tunnel kind of shape. So yeah, I'm glad you like it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, it's an absolutely fantastic piece. Louise, just outstanding. Colors are really consistent, and it stands out. It really has a particular atmosphere to it. And it's really fun to look at. I think it'll look really great in your collection, Marquise. I saw that you have some fantastic art there. So congratulations.
I put the OpenSea link in the chat for those who are looking for the full collection. And if you're, like many of us, not clicking on links, that's okay. TDC-art-a-thon. Put that in OpenSea and it should come up.
Mm-hmm. And all of these pieces have been minted from an independent Dream Conduit smart contract. And we minted the NFTs to Grail's website. So they're being held by Grail, and they're facilitating this auction for us very kindly. But we have 20 seconds until the timer on Luis's piece, The Journey, ends. Congratulations, Luis, and congratulations, Marquise. I think...
Thank you.
Congratulations are very much in order, Marquise. It's a fantastic piece. Hats off. Luis, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
If I go quiet, it's probably because I fall asleep, but I hope the other guys and pieces sell as well. Thank you so much, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be here.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much for staying up. Marquise, thank you very, very, very Excuse me, very much for the bit. I appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Thank you. Awesome. Our next piece is Auto Portrait of Feelings by DSZN. We actually have DSCN, aka Bluebird, in the room here with us. Bluebird, welcome, welcome. Would you like to speak a little bit about your piece? We'd love to hear from you. We had a great time earlier in the room, but as the auctions are winding down here, we'd love to hear from you a little bit if you'd like to speak. If you're by your mic.
I think she may be having the sound issues I had earlier. You may have to exit the room and come back. That's what I often have to do. I'm not sure what's up with Clubhouse lately. And it's so great to have access to the artists. And if you guys are watching the live stream on Grail, you can see Rami's lovely face. Hey, Rami.
Hey, Nadine. Yeah, we're here on the live stream. We're holding it down. We have DSCN's piece, aka Bluebird. Hoping she can come back in and speak to it a little bit. Would love to hear her thoughts. Until she does, Nadine, do you think you could speak to it a little bit?
Nice. I just want to jump in real quick. It's only 37 cents gas, which is
oh wow.
Amazing. Did you guys optimize the gas at all, or?
Well, actually, for this, that's Grail's doing. So hats off to them for how they're handling that. That's awesome. Awesome. So it only costs 37 cents on top of the bid that you'll be placing, which is only 0.05 ETH. But it is opening bids at 0.05. We have 2 minutes until Bluebird's piece. And we just actually have Bluebird walk back into the room. Welcome, welcome. Bluebird, we'd love to hear from you if you'd like to
Hi,
jump in.
Can you hear me now? Is it better? Okay. Yeah, it was wonderful this morning to hear everyone's experience, how they created their artwork and everything. So about my artwork, it's a 3D a piece. It's a sculpture. So you see on the image the representative images, the 3 images. And it's auto portrait of my feelings through this transformation that what I feel in Web3. So I've kind of like tried to create layers of feelings that I have been going through as an artist, and how this change and creates a complete like a global of feelings and an interaction between myself, the other artist, and what's going on in the world, and it's how complex is it, and how it has layers and different colors and different contradiction in a way between the shapes. So yeah, that was my artwork, and I really enjoyed the artathon because it was kind of like a push for me to get out there, bring these feelings out, make an artwork around it, and actually it's another transformation given in 24 hours, trying to put something out there that is what I'm feeling, the representation of what I'm feeling. So I really enjoy making it, and thank you very much for hosting the event.
Thank you, Bluebird. This is another rare piece in the collection. It is the only one that is a GLB file. So this one is fully immersive. This one actually comes, it's a 2-in-1, and it has a thumbnail and it has the GLB file, which is the actual NFT. And we will allow bidding on that at a future date in a future event with future plans that we'll be releasing later this week. But next we have Bluebird. I just want to say thank you so much. Any closing thoughts?
Thank you. I just posted on Instagram how it's looking on Spatial as a three-dimensional object. If anybody is curious, go check it out.
Absolutely. Absolutely will, right after this. Thank you. Thank you so much, Bluebird. Appreciate it. Awesome. We have David's piece up next. We have David in the room. Welcome, David. Would you like to speak to this fantastic piece, the first photography piece in the collection, and I think the only one so far?
I'm actually just a little tied up for the next 30 seconds or 60 seconds here.
Oh, that's okay. But this piece, it was taken by David. He was not looking. He was in nature looking for a nature piece, but not necessarily to get trees. I think you were looking for insects first. But this one really stands out. The scene that it is in, I think a lot of aspects of this one, the background and its focus, and the contrast with the piece here in the middle. So it's a really fantastic submission, speaks to the power of photography. And yeah, very much appreciate the submission.
Thank you, Rami. Yeah, it was really fun. It was a fun challenge. It's a little bit out of my comfort zone as far as just really trying to be as artistic as possible and hit the theme of transformation and make it aesthetically pleasing and just a composition. So I thought I don't know. I think it worked out. It's cool. I'm happy with it. Yeah, it's awesome to see it on the blockchain. The Grail platform is really interesting. It's pretty cool. So thanks for the opportunity. And yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, absolutely. It was fun to participate in just from a little bit of a farther wayside. And David, I think you were hesitant about whether you were going to at first, but yeah, the time of day that you went out, you just managed to find the perfect picture. So hats off to that.
Yeah, I'm glad I did, and I'm going to try to push myself to be involved in future artathons, and it'll just be cool. Maybe I can make some progression and see the difference.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, David. Nadine, you want to jump in?
Yeah, I really liked what David was saying earlier about this piece, how he was really intentional in the focus that he used with his camera, and having the dead leaves really clear and the really bright, vibrant, new green leaves in a blur. And I know when I first saw this piece, it was very obvious. I could see the transformation, and I appreciated that it was something unexpected and a really different perspective than the usual. Even though I know David walked out intending to find maybe the insect and the process of transforming into something else with wings or etc. I think this piece is stronger as a found object in nature than the usual transformation that we think of. So I really appreciate the care and the happenstance of finding it as well. It shows a great eye.
Thanks, Nadine. I appreciate that.
Oh, I was going to mute myself, but I was already muted. Thank you, David. I really absolutely love your photography, and I think the collection is all the better for it. Thank you so much. Well, we have closed bidding for today, and we are going to stop our broadcast on Grail, and then we're just going to be here in Clubhouse for a little bit longer, and then we will start to wind down for the evening. But for anyone that is watching the stream on Grail, thank you so much. We are the Dream Conduit on Clubhouse. You can find us there. Absolutely welcome to join us, and we're just going to be winding down the conversation. Our next auction is going to be Tuesday, starting off at 12 p.m. EST, and thank you so much for your time. So